Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today in this video we're going to be covering a brand new innovative deck profile. We're going to be going over this basic V box. Now, Sawyer Melban has been piloting this deck and seeing lots of success at these recent online tournaments. There's been multiple adaptations of it, but we're going to show you where it came from and kind of where it's going, then show you some gameplay with the list that we've been using here on the channel. First thing that we're going to do is just hit over to our sponsors and let them do their thing. Make sure you're hitting a like button or subscribe to the channel for more content like this, but we're going to hop over to the deck profile right after.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Ultimate Guard, PTCGL Store, and Atlas TCG. Check out the description below for discount codes and affiliate links to support the squad. Now it's time for the video.
Alright, as we stated before, there's lots of basic V Pokemon in this deck and lots of interesting ones too, so we're going to start it off here with Starmie V. Starmie V has a energy spiral attack that can hit for 50 damage times the number of energy on your opponent's Pokemon, which is great for those Guardy matchups or their Arceus matchups where they're loading up energy on their board. Next we have my favorite, Suicune V, which was a great deck on its own in the past, but it's not seen some play in a few months or almost a year here. So Suicune V coming back, very similar to how Raikou V is played in the current meta in Lost Box or those Miraidon decks that aren't being played right now, but Suicune V is able to hit Blizzard Rondo 20 plus 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon on either side of the field. So really great attacker here and 210 HP. Then we have our favorite Raikou V, played in, again, tons of decks currently, but we have that lightning-based attacker for the Lightning Week Pokemon, namely Lugia V-Star here in the meta. So still a great attacker for those wide board sets, and we love using this card here. Now, this is the first interesting one that we see in this list. It's Jirachi V, which is not really played because it's kind of a chase card a lot of the time for collectors, but in the competitive meta, it doesn't see play. It's got low HP as a V, but what's nice is that the Wish Connector ability is able to move energy from the active V Pokemon when it's knocked out to one of your other Pokemon, so then you can load up another attacker for the next turn after you take a knockout in the active. Another nice thing that you can note about this card is that if you do see any of those Rapid Strike decks out there that are playing Urshifu, it is weak to Psychic, or even Lugia playing the Single Strike version of Urshifu is also weak to Psychic, so you can use this card in your list if you need to take hopefully 3 prizes. We do throw a Galarian Zapdos V in this list so you can hit into those Arc decks, so once they put a bunch of Vs on the field to get them loaded up, you can really just swing with this guy and take out an Arceus V-Star pretty easily. We do have Drapion, which is #1 enemy of Mew VMAX players here, so as far as Drapion V goes, you can also load this one up with some basic energy cards and negate where the Wild Style ability would allow you to attack for less and just swing with a Dark type attacker. Another interesting card in this list is the Galarian Perrserker V. We are seeing a lot of Chen Pao lists out there on the ladder and also in tournaments, so Galarian Perrserker V is good for 2 things. One, hitting for meta weakness into Chen Pao, but also the Treasure Rush attack is actually really good. It does 20 damage plus 20 for each card that's in your hand. So if you start to load up that big board state, you haven't been Iono'd, you can use this card and swing for a huge amount of damage. Now this is one of my favorite cards in the list. It's Mawile. Now Mawile can really just cheese out your opponents as long as they're putting Pokemon down that are just support Pokemon and not attacking Pokemon. If you're able to boss something up and just leave it in the active forever, you can really just stall out games as long as you're cautious of what cards you're using. Now we do play a plethora of different support cards like Boss's Order, Iono, and Melony. Melony is the main support card here because we want to accelerate energies from the discard pile to our active Pokemon. We also have Raihan here to kind of do the same thing, but you're able to go into your deck and find another card, which could be really pivotal in those spots that you need one of your energy cards to attack with. We do also have 4 Seal Stone in this deck, and also a Sky Seal Stone, so you're able to use either or and swing for more prizes with Sky Seal Stone in those type matchups as well. Now, Luminous Energy is one of the new cards out of Paldea Evolved, and it really helps this deck function because you're able to add it onto all those basic V Pokemon and attack where you wouldn't normally be able to attack. So we really like the addition of this in the list. Now, again, the list will be down in the description of this video as always, so if you want to copy and paste that and try it out for yourself, you can definitely do so. But for right now, we're going to hop over to how the deck works and show you some gameplay. Alright, we're taking a look here. We've got our Jirachi V that we can play. We have Battle VIP Pass and Hisuian Heavy Ball, so we do have quite a few things. Looks like we're playing against Rapid Strike. So we've got the Rapid Strike Inteleon in the active. They're throwing down that Hisuian Heavy Ball. We have a lot of other options for later in the game like Boss's Order and Raihan, but we do also have a Switch Cart, which is great because generally with Jirachi V you don't want to be attacking, but we do want to find an attacker here. So, oh, we even got an Ultra Ball. So let's go take a look through the deck and let's see, we have the Dragonite V, we've got Lumineon, so we can draw some more cards. Definitely need Radiant Greninja. Raikou's great here also, so we're going to take that and go in. Sorry for the delay on PTCG Live, you know, we've got to work with what we have. Now, Drapion in the prize cards, pretty interesting. They do play a lot of Rapid Strike Pokemon, so this could potentially attack for free later on in the game once they do have their board set up and they're trying to snipe me down with their Inteleon. So we could put that down too. Maybe even swing for a knockout with Sky Seal Stone with it. I think that would be kind of funny. We'll put the Sky Seal Stone probably... Yeah, we'll put it on the Raikou and just see what we hit here. So we'll go in, we'll probably draw Squawkabilly. That way we can just see a brand new hand and then maybe even get something that we could use as a supporter card too, which is great. That's really why you play Squawkabilly in lists like this, so you could just dump it. Let's use our Switch Cart and we get a brand new hand here, which is really, really nice. I really like how that plays. And we haven't even used Fleetfoot as the ability. We can Radiant Greninja here with the energy card, so that's pretty good. We could still get Lumineon and get Melony, and we get Melony off the top deck anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So we can go ahead and then just go in Fleetfoot. Let's grab an extra card here. If we need to, we get a Nest Ball. We don't really need Nest Ball right now. Let's just Melony, see what we find. We'll go up here, pop that on. Oh my gosh, and we draw the Lightning Energy. They just scoop. We drew too many cards. We just won that matchup. So that's pretty much how it goes. It drew pretty well in these opening hands, and you saw how I was able to sequence. All right, we're going to call the coin flip here on this one. See whether we go first or second, and then kind of play in. Oh, we did get heads, so we get to go first. That's really good here. We love having a big start with this deck. Sometimes the hands are unforgiving, but we'll see what we've got. So we do have Drapion, and we have the Greninja. So I think I want to put a single prize attacker into the active. We definitely don't want to put a two prizer down that could be a dead card based on the matchup. So we have enough things in our hand that can help us at least draw something. We're going to see what our first turn... Okay, so we get a Water Energy, which is great. We play enough of those in this deck. So we're just going to pop that into the discard pile, draw some more cards, and see what we get here. We do get the Mawile, so we see a Mew in the active. They're probably playing Gardevoir. So this Mawile can really come out and just cheese them out of this win here later in the game if they do bench a Manaphy. Now, we could bench Drapion, and that kind of baits them into thinking that we're playing Lost Box, so it's pretty smart to put down some cards here. Again, we don't want to get donked. I don't think that we're going to get donked turn one by Gardevoir, but on the off chance that we do, and something crazy happens, then we want to be prepared and not leave our bench wide open with just one Pokemon in the active. So it looks like it is Gardevoir. They are getting the Battle VIP Pass here. They're going to use their Mysterious Tail ability. Get another Battle VIP Pass. That's crazy. What a great start on our opponent's side here. And we'll see what else they have to offer. I think this Drapion is going to be sitting on the bench for a while. We can load it up with basic energies though, and Luminous Energy, all of that. So we're able to Melony to it, which is really nice. So we could draw some cards here if we really need to. We have Luminous Energy, and we could use that. Looks like Zacian's going to roar for the sword here, put some energy cards on itself. And we've got just the Greninja in the active and the Drapion. So let's see. We can use this Nest Ball. I don't know what I want yet. I think that Raiku's safe. Suicune's pretty safe too. An extra 10 HP. Starmie is going to be really good here with a free retreat, so that's good. But I want to draw extra cards with fleet-footed, so I think what we're going to do is take Suicune and put that onto the bench, and then we could draw into something else. Now, what's nice about Suicune is we don't necessarily care if we're getting water energy or luminous energy. Either one of those is good, and we do get the Raikou V, also really good in this matchup, just because their board's going to go wide, so is ours, so it doesn't even matter. We're going to get rid of this energy, draw 2 more water cards, so we can even attack here and get this Mew out of the active, which is pretty nice. We only have the 1 Cross Switcher, but that's totally fine. We can retreat and just attach to Mawile, depending on what they bring up here. Okay, so they did put their Greninja in the active, and they bench locked themselves. So that's not going anywhere. We're going to Fleet Foot for 1 more. We get a Trekking Shoes. That's pretty good. We don't need Manaphy in this matchup, so I'm going to put that right into the discard pile, I believe, when PTCGL gets around to it. We've got Jirachi, so we can move around energy cards. I think all of this sounds fantastic right now. So do we put the Mawile down now? We're just going to bait them for another turn. So let's leave them here and leave them in the active, see what's going on. I think that the next step here is that if they do knock out anything, like my Suicune in the active, or then maybe they switch and they boss, we're going to be able to start digging towards the Cross Switcher play, and we'll Cross Switcher with Mawile, and then just use that. So it looks like they're discarding quite a few resources to negate the hand. I mean, as far as I see, I really want them to drain their resources before we put the Mawile down, because that should be an end game card. I don't want them to have any sort of recovery cards like their super odds that they can put things back, or maybe they put Collapsed Stadium down, then another stadium, and then they're able to switch things out. They do also have access to Boss and Palpad in the list if they're playing a standard Gardevoir list. So if they're able to boss something up and we can't retreat, that could be really bad, and then our Mawile just goes to waste. The list does play a couple of recovery cards, so we could always get it back, but we just don't want to take the chances. We want to make sure that they're not taking 6 prize cards. And on top of it, it looks like they're just they're putting the Drapion V. Seems like that's pretty scary to them. I don't know, and they're not able to retreat here, so that's again really, really good for us. We can use this concealed cards, and I think what we'll try to do is just draw some form of switch. Like Melony is good. I can Melony to my Drapion. Do we go Shoes first? Let's go Melony first and then Shoes. So we'll throw the Melony down right to the active, and we'll put this energy card here. Draw a couple more cards. We can flip the stone. Let's see what we draw off Shoes. We don't need this. We definitely don't need that. So not able to do that. So we could put stone down here and then just see if we can maybe get our Switch Cart and then leave them stranded right now. Yeah, let's go in. We're going to use Star Alchemy. We'll search the list. We do have the Switch Cart, so we're going to use that. We have energy in hand. We've got 1 energy on the Drapions for later. So we're just going to attach. We're going to play Switch Cart. We'll put the Mawile up in the front and then just Tempting Trap here. Now, Tempting Trap, they're not able to retreat manually, so they will have to either play Switch, or if their list plays Penny, that could be scary. So it's something you want to watch out for too. So it looks like they play Palpad, probably going to put Boss back in there and try to boss around my things. Now, all of my other Pokemon, aside from Drapion, have only 1 retreat cost. So if we're able to get 1 more energy card, we could just do this again, and they're going to have to try to dig for their boss over and over again, which is super annoying. And we're not really digging through our resources anymore, but they're definitely digging through theirs. So we see that they have their Shining Arcana Gardevoir over there. They have their Curlia for refinement. They're able to dig even further with energy cards on their Radiant Greninja. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to play next here, but it definitely seems like we're in an awesome spot. They're going to Iono us, which is great. We have got a nice big hand. We don't really need much else here. So let's see. We've got the Lumineon. Okay, there's the Collapsed Stadium. Not sure why they're playing Collapsed Stadium now until they're able to boss around, but sure. And I guess we could get rid of Raikou. We don't need Raikou here. It's nice. We can always recover Raikou 2 later on in the game if we really need to. So they're playing a level ball again, they're using that with refinement, so just drawing more cards, and then they have a Shining Arcana. They're going to draw more cards and really just digging through their deck like it's wildfire. This is kind of crazy to see. Roar the Sword, just going to go there and put one more energy card. That's totally fine. I guess they're hoping for us to not hit Tempting Trap. We're just going to keep this hand nice and big. We're not even going to use the shoes here. We're just going to use Tempting Trap and pass it back over to our opponent. Let's see what they do to respond here. They're just drawing more cards. Let's see if they Shining Arcana some more. It seems like they don't have that penny, or maybe it's in the prizes, or they didn't add it. Didn't think that they'd see Mawile today, which is pretty good. That's how this deck really works, is if you've just got the tech for it and your opponent hasn't planned for that tech, it just wins. Nobody's expecting to see a lot of these cards out on the field, so it's definitely something interesting. There's another boss. Let's see what they boss up. There we go. Let's see if we can get around this. We're gonna have to scramble to find an energy, but that's also fine. Back to us here. Let's see what we do. We get Super Rod. We don't want to do Super Rod. Let's see if we could just use... Let's use shoes, see what we dig for. We're going to dig. We don't need that anymore. And Luminous Energy, so we can just attach active and then retreat, which is kind of funny. We're going to use that, and then we'll go back into Tempting Trap and just do it again. And Mawile saves the day here. I don't really know what our opponent's going to do to respond to that. But we're going to see. They can probably try to Iono us. And that's the victory. They're just done playing here at this point. That's awesome. So there you have it, everybody. That is how the deck is played and how we're able to pilot it as the base list. I know it's just a starter list for now, but there's been so many other cards added into it, we just can't keep up. So make sure you're checking Play.Limitless TCG for any more of Sawyer's success with this deck, and hopefully we'll see other people have success with it too. Now, if you want to take this list, again, always remember that the deck list is down in the description of this video. And if you did like the video, make sure you're leaving a comment. It definitely helps me out. It helps everybody else out here on the channel, so you can help support us. So we're going to kick it off at the end of this video, and thank you so much for watching it all the way to the end. I hope to see you next week on the Shuffle Squad.
You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.